We shall see. Only the Lansdowne Club would present politicians with knives, I think, at any time. Ladies and gentlemen, this time last year, we were delighted to welcome Premier Kristina Keneally to the club for the first time. Well, 9 days out from an election, the New South Wales Premier is more than a little busy, giving us extra reason to welcome her back again. Ladies and gentlemen, the Premier, Kristina Keneally.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you all for that warm welcome. And thank you, Prime Minister Julia Gillard, for that very lovely and engaging speech. It's wonderful to host you here in Sydney today. Thank you, Peter Brennan, for putting on yet another fantastic lunch for the Lansdowne Club. And I acknowledge so many of our parliamentary colleagues who are here today. Mr. Barry O'Farrell, the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Tony Abbott, the Leader of the Federal Opposition, my state and federal colleagues, particularly Tony Burke and Tony Kelly. And it's wonderful to acknowledge the Consul General of Ireland and also to acknowledge Minister Francis Fitzgerald. Thank you for joining us here in Australia for these celebrations. Well, it is terrific to be back here at the Lansdowne Club. I'm sitting there at a table with my political opponent, with Julie's political opponent. And, you know, peace has broken out. St. Patrick is performing miracles still, yet again, 1,700 years later. And remarkably, what I think is most remarkable is Tony and Barry are wearing the same outfit. Clearly, Julie and I did call each other this morning. Now, having the surname Kenealy is of a bit of use on St. Patrick's Day, as does having an accent that occasionally makes me sound like a drunken lass from Kilkenny. But it does help me get into parties like this one, and it's for many reasons that I do feel at home here today. Of course, as the Prime Minister has pointed out, my surname comes via marriage. I can claim one Irish great-grandmother, but I must admit I have far more Scots-Irish ancestors, so please forgive me for that. And I have even more German ancestors. Although to the Germans, to their credit, do have Oktoberfest, and it is remarkable how many Germans today will claim to be Irish, and how many Irish will claim to be German come Oktoberfest. But Australian-Irish culture is, of course, far more closely aligned. In fact, I think if the Irish hadn't given us St. Paddy's Day, that the Australians would have. Last time I was here, I remarked how the characteristics that define us as Australian do often seem remarkably Irish. The rebellious humour, the larrikin spirit, the rejection of class, a way with words that can be both funny and bitingly accurate. And while I'm somewhat biased, I do think one of the great exponents of this is Tom Kenealy, who told the Irish Echo that his Irish background has given him an interest in social justice, together with a capacity to talk to the limits of verbosity, yeah, that's true, a facility with language, and a tendency to tease and stir. And as only Tom can, he's also drawn our attention to a little-known Irish Australian from history, Thomas Francis Marr, a rebel of 1848, a political prisoner in Tasmania, an escapee to the United States, and ultimately the governor of Montana. My, I wonder what the people of Montana made of his accent. That does lead us back to New South Wales politics. An election is soon ahead of us. The good news is that with one candidate named Kenealy and the other named O'Farrell, the clear winner on the 26th of March will be the Irish. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, and I look forward to a wonderful lunch today. Sláinte.